Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. That decision and fine by the Portland City Auditor's Office came after it reopened its investigation into the current city commissioner, citing new information around Gonzalez's use of taxpayer dollars to edit his Wikipedia page. Blair Best has our update.
There's about 2 weeks left in the race for Portland mayor, and in a turn of events Monday, the Portland Auditor's Office found mayoral candidate and city commissioner Rene Gonzalez violated campaign finance law when he used thousands of taxpayer dollars to edit his Wikipedia page. This may sound familiar, and that's because this all started back in August when the Auditor's Office received a complaint alleging Gonzalez spent $6,400 of city money to make several edits to his Wikipedia page to help his run for mayor. The initial investigation resulted in the auditor's office not having enough evidence to prove he broke that law. But weeks later, those behind the investigation received additional documents and changed their mind, bringing us to Monday morning when they released a new determination that Gonzalez did in fact break the law by using city staff time, money, and services to change his Wikipedia page to show that he's a Democrat.
We didn't request the change. It came out of discussions with the consultant.
The auditor's office found evidence to support that change was a key campaign strategy and had no bearing on official city business.
So we have an obligation to correct errors in the public, including online, including misinformation, as a part of a broad communication strategy, and we will continue to do it.
What do you have to say to voters who see this and think they can't trust you anymore?
I think I've been very direct. I don't think I violated the rules here.
Supporters like Todd Littlefield, the head of the Lentz Neighborhood Livability Association, call this a political attack.
Rene's taken the grenades. I'm not sure anybody else can. He's been portrayed as being a far-right person or a Republican or something like that, and he wants to make it clear where his values are. Others, like Stephen Gomez, part of Don't Rank Rene, a political action committee, sees this violation as another reason Gonzalez is, quote, unfit for office.
I think it should be alarming to everybody that any elected official would misuse taxpayer dollars.
And as for Mayor Ted Wheeler, who we caught up with Monday afternoon, he's strategically staying out of it.
We have a small council. 3 of them are running for mayor. 1 is running for the city council, and I need 3 votes. There's been plenty of thorough media coverage about the auditor's statement, about Rene's response to the auditor's statement, and I think at this point, 2 weeks before the election, we should let the voters decide for themselves.
Blair Best, KGW News.
To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, 2 cyclists are dead after 2 separate crashes involving vehicles this morning in northeast Portland. The first was around 2:30 at 128th and Gleason. Police say the driver took off. Then around 9 this morning, another cyclist was hit by a car at northeast 105th and Marks. That's in the Park Rose neighborhood. Authorities say the driver in that crash stayed at the scene. The Navy has identified the 2 service members who were killed when their jet crashed in the Cascades last week near Mount Rainier. They are Lieutenant Commander Lindsay Evans and Lieutenant Serena Wildman, both who are assigned to Electronic Attack Squadron 130 based on Whidbey Island. No word yet on the cause of that crash. It took crews several days to reach the wreckage in steep and heavily wooded terrain. And in Vancouver, police have identified the suspect. They say fired a shotgun at a mom and her 2 kids following a road rage incident. Authorities say it sparked on I-5 near 78th Sunday evening. The drivers continued home. It turns out they live a block away from each other. And when the mom tried to take down the other driver's plate number, authorities say Eric Odegaard pulled out a shotgun and fired. Police say the slug hit an unoccupied car seat in the back, and no one was injured. Odegaard faces 3 counts of assault with a firearm. Developing tonight, a Canby youth softball team is under scrutiny after parents say some players were involved in making racist chants toward a player on the opposing team. Daisy Caballero explains.
Parents and spectators at the U14 softball game described the repeated chants you just heard as monkey and barking noises made towards the only black player on the Sherwood E-Force team.
There were many a times during the game that the cheering was absolutely inappropriate.
The chants came from the Canby Rebels dugout over the weekend at Cook Park. The president telling KGW in a statement part, quote, discussions will be had with players and coaches to address this issue, adding Oregon Rebels will not tolerate racist, threatening, or derogatory comments.
But I do feel that the coaches on the other team are very well aware of what their players were doing, and they owe this family a personal apology.
Jamie Hoglin's daughter also plays on the E-Force team and pointed out those chants were not made when her daughter was playing the same position.
After the game was over, the umpire made us aware that she was aware of what the chanting was.
The father of that young girl didn't want to go on camera, but shared in part, quote, I know the girls didn't mean any harm, but it's essential for coaches, parents, and players to challenge these behaviors, adding that it's not okay.
I would want to know from the kids, this is a learned behavior. Did you know what you were doing? Did you know what that barking and monkey sounds was? This behavior cannot be tolerated in sports, should not be tolerated for any youth activity, period.
Daisy Caballero, KGW News.
In Clark County, police are trying to find the people who vandalized several Halloween displays, slashing inflatables and destroying decorations. Take a look at surveillance video from the Orchards area. It appears to show someone hopping out of an SUV, doing something, and then running back. Another camera, it does not appear at the same exact home, captures a couple people wearing hoodies, knocking over a giant skeleton and then trampling through a yard. In all, it turns out 4 homeowners sustained some kind of damage. One neighbor saying she's out about $1,800.
They've made a TikTok video, said they were coming back. So why am I going to set myself up again?
We do a big Christmas display as well. So is that, going to be something we need to always be worrying about? Like, are they going to come back? Is someone else going to come back?
Police say they're looking into a possible connection to a dark blue SUV with front end damage. New at 11, a progress report when it comes to a cell phone policy for Oregon's biggest school district. Alma McCarty is here. Alma, right now it's a bit of a patchwork in Portland Public. What are you learning tonight?
Yeah, David, I'm learning that district staff presented a survey this afternoon after hearing directly from high school students, more than 2,100 of them. Generally, they found students support having cell phones off and away during class time because it helps them focus during the lesson. However, several surveyed say they'd prefer to have their phones on them and available during class changes and at lunch. One Lincoln High School student explained why this makes sense for her.
We do walk around a lot, and we're very close to downtown, and we have a really huge homeless problem. My mom does not let me go off campus because of that, and I think that having my phone, gives her a little extra security, and me too, to be able to walk off campus.
Now, many schools have some sort of policy already in place. It just varies depending on where. For example, Grant High School uses what are called yonder pouches, locking away phones for the entire day. One parent shared some positive feedback about this specific policy.
My daughter is experiencing much less anxiety and better focus, also better relationships. My student tells me she is less distracted during class and feels more connected to her friends because they're talking at lunch instead of looking at their phones.
Now, other schools use phone caddies where students put away their phones in the front of the room at the beginning of each class. Then there's the off and away policy. You can have your phone in your backpack. You're just not allowed to use it. And the board was in committee and didn't take a formal action on a district-wide plan today. They have narrowed down some aspects of a draft policy, although there's differing opinions on whether phones should be locked away all day or just during class time. David?
Yeah, it's interesting to watch this play out in real time. Thank you, Alma. Straight ahead at 11, 2 weeks and a day till the presidential election, why the former candidate who did not quite shatter the highest of glass ceilings was back tonight in the Rose City. Plus, a major milestone for a nearly century-old grocery store that burned to the ground. The work being done to rebuild a family business. Joe?
And David, we start off the work week with some wet conditions. We saw just over 1/4 inch of rain throughout parts of the metro area. Heading into tomorrow, it's going to be cool and crisp with temperatures in the low 40s. Areas of fog, but by the afternoon, sunny and relatively pleasant for late October. I'll let you know just how long the sunshine sticks around coming up.